Hi, I'm Allison Lovestoon, the Vice President Secondary for ICTM, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about one of my favorite tools that I found this spring for being able to collect thinking from students and to provide feedback to them on that thinking, and that is EdPuzzle. I used it in the spring and plan to use it again this fall. I'm not going to be able to do a full tutorial here, but I'm hoping to show you sort of what makes EdPuzzle stand out to me so that if you're interested, you can explore more or reach out to me with questions that you might have. So EdPuzzle is a tool that lets you take existing video that you've created or video that lives online on the web and annotate, edit, and add questions to that as desired. So if you go to edpuzzle.com, here's what would show up. You create an account. You can tie that to your school. I'm going to go into my content. So here's where I have all of the videos that I have created and uploaded. You can tell I've added questions or notes to them by sort of these little markers sort of show that. But again, they can be videos I've created or they can be videos that are on YouTube and I'm able to add things to those. So I want to show you quickly a little bit about how this works. So here's an EdPuzzle that I created. It's the video, and notice I was able to go in and at certain time stamps, so I played it through, I was able to stop it, and I was able to add either a multiple choice or an open-ended question that I wanted students to address with that. I'm going to switch so my video's gone so that you can see what's happening down here in the corner. But notice this is one I've already assigned and worked with. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this so that you can see how that editing process works. So I'm going to watch, but I don't really want to watch. But here we've got this. Now that I've duplicated it, I can edit it. So editing, I can cut the video down. So if an online video contains content that you don't really want, you can cut that out really easily. I can also add questions, and included in questions are notes. So you'll notice that at 3 minutes and 40 seconds, something was said in the video that I wasn't sure that I really wanted my students to work with. So I said, since you aren't actually working on YouTube, you can't see the description to get the link because I was giving them this video through EdPuzzle. Oh, my lights just turned off. But I shared that link here in a note. So when a student's watching the video, they're watching, it interrupts, shows them this note, and then they're able to hit continue to keep watching the video. You can also embed, instead of notes, questions. So it could be a multiple choice question. It could be an open-ended question. So often, I'll ask them, what do you think? Or why was that answer? So here I had a multiple choice question. They completed a problem. They gave their answer, that auto grades. But then I also had an open-ended question where I was able to collect their thoughts, see what their thinking was, and use and organize that data in a nice way. So what made EdPuzzle really stand out in my mind was the grading workflow. So I'm going to show you a little bit about what that looks like. I'm sorry, I don't have a currently active class with ungraded stuff, so I had to go look for an old screenshot, and this was the best I could find. But for each question, EdPuzzle gives the question, and then it would list all of your students' responses to that in a row under here. So when I did this, I might have 30 responses to that question all in a row, one after the other. I was able to click the green check mark to give them 100% if it was right. I could click the X for 0 if it was wrong. And I could, in this box, type in an in-between score. If it's like, you kind of have the right idea, you kind of don't. What I really liked about having those all together was that then I could click comment and comment on a student's answer and then look for anybody else that had a similar misunderstanding, open up comment, paste that in, and do that all right together from the same page and submit all of those with just that little bit of tweaking maybe in the comment instead of having to remember what I wrote on a previous page earlier or come back to it, which are what I've had to do in previous programs. Once you have graded that material, then you also are able to see a summary. These are all the student names, and it shows me both how much of the video they watched. So this student, just skipped ahead to the question parts, which I had allowed, and kind of their score. So you're able to quickly see if a student didn't watch much of it and didn't do well, their first place to start is to maybe go back and actually watch more of the video. Whereas a student that watched the whole video and still didn't do well is somebody that you need to follow up with in a different way. It also tells me when they completed it and if they completed it. And then another last thing here, because I'm at the end of my time, you're able to go into a question and it will sort those responses by correct, partially correct, incorrect, so that you can really quickly see which students you maybe need to pull in and talk with a little bit more. So that's a little bit about EdPuzzle. I hope some of you are able to find it as useful as I have found it.